everybody. Welcome to the first Riggs Mental Breakdown. On the show tonight, I've got a very special and close friendly guest of mine, Matt DeRozier. You probably all know him from that big Subversion band. No, I'm just joking. When he played with us, of course, millions came out. We appreciate you. Thank you. And you may know him as well from working with me on Scum. Matt, say hello to the world.
Hello, world.
So how you been?
I've been okay.
Yeah,
Can't say. I would say good. Yeah.
good, good. So the reason I got you on the show is for one, this is first, and I just couldn't get any of the big stars. I asked Paul McCartney, you know, didn't get him. You know how that goes.
Sometimes Paul stops over for tea, when he's in town, but usually I can't get a hold of him.
Well, he's a busy guy,
We
and
usually just back and forth, song lyrics, and I
yeah,
usually tell him, recommend some good vocal melodies for him. You know what I mean?
yeah, but he often doesn't listen and goes with the lesser, of the two, and it's never my favorite. Of course, I like yours better, but hey, I guess he makes money with his, so that.
He was talking about jumping into a death metal album. So.
Yeah, right. So, I want to pick your brain tonight on the very thing that you know a lot about, drums. My question is to you, in a short summary, what are some key things that new drummers could take from you, some advice that maybe they overlook and or don't think about, being that they're a new drummer? Everybody just wants to hop on and do the double pedal and play their Vinnie Paul or something. But what are some small little things that maybe they can change in their rehearsal to make their drumming A, better, and B, easier to do?
Okay, to make it short, I would say number one would be ergonomics, which if you don't know what that is, that's just basically maximizing muscle movement and stuff like that. Like setting up your drum set to where you're comfortable, so where when you play, you don't cause injury or you don't tire out quickly. And that's a whole other, there's DVDs and books written just about that. Two, I would say, when you can, practice with a metronome, because our job is to be a timekeeper. If you practice with a metronome, then, you're going to have some good time, and you're going to, it just happens. And three, I would say, I get frustrated easily sometimes, and you're not going to jump on and play Where the Spine Lives by Morbid Angel because you think you can play double bass. I would say find songs or parts of songs that you like and you think that you could play with a little bit of practice, and work on those things. Like me, I always used to work down the end of Fade to Black and Domination by Pantera, and then I would work on Where the Spine Lives. I would pick levels of things that I thought, okay, I could probably get this pretty quickly. This might take a little bit of work, and this is going to take a lot of work, and work on a few things. And four, I would say develop some kind of beats or exercises that you play every time you sit down at the drums. So it's like a song you know real well, or just some beat that you can solo off of. That's it.
Okay. Well, that being said, let me ask you this: is there any particular thing that you recommend practicing a lot? Let's say I do want to play like Vinnie Paul. What is it that I should be practicing daily? Obviously, as step one, if I want to be decent at playing double pedal, I don't know, how long does it take? You think 6 months, a year? If I was practicing daily, um,
That's yeah, I know, I get what you're saying. I'm not trying to cut you off. I just say I thought about that quite a bit, and anyone that knows me knows that for a period of time, and even now, I could sit down and play really confident double bass just as good as Dave Lombardo or Pete Sandoval or something. But that's because I practice it, Dr. Dean, and something that, especially for metal, because the majority of people that play double bass are, let's face it, they're going to be metal guys or even industrial guys. With metal, you want to, maximize your movements and everything, because the faster tempos and the amount of stamina being important, in metal, and especially in more extreme metal, like if you're covering Emperor songs or playing like Emperor or something, you want to set up your, like, for example, if you're gonna play really fast double bass and you sit too high and your hips are like your ass is like more up in the air, and your knees are lower than your ass basically. Like if you do that, that's gonna affect your legs in a different way. It's gonna tire you out quicker. If you sit too low, where your ass is below your knees, I mean, I'm just saying to, give a visual, then your calves are going to, tire quickly. You want to sit with your hips being exactly parallel at a 90-degree angle. When you put your foot down, 90-degree angle to that pedal. Whether you play heel up or heel down, that's the most efficient way to sit in a drum zone so that your legs aren't going to tire out. Because, man, it's like tweaking just sitting, like I would spend like 15, 20 minutes just sitting and like saying, okay, put the chair up, or like an inch and see how it works today. And I found, and then I started reading, hey, legs, and then however you hold the stick, whether you hold it back or whether you hold it forward or in the middle or whatever, something that Chad Smith of Red Hot Chili Peppers once said that I always think about every time I sit down with the drums is sometimes if you have somebody to help you, it helps, obviously. But sit down and close your eyes and think, okay, this is where hi-hat, and just put your arm with the stick in your hand, like where you think hi-hat should be, so that essentially when you sit, and do that with everything, with the toms, with the bass drum, whatever, and then so that when you sit down, you can play, and like if you close your eyes like I do sometimes, where I don't even realize I'm doing it, but, or you look away, or like it's dark, or whatever, like, so that you create what's called muscle memory, which the same thing as a guitar player is strapped at the exact same, height. You know what I mean? Like you kind of wear your guitar a little lower or whatever. You know what I mean? Because that's the way you're like you hold it to where your arms, like you tailor it to your body. Tailoring to your body, I guess, to make it more.
But you're absolutely right. Like even in guitar, like I noticed that. Remember when I first started playing, I had it as low as I could go because I thought I was Head, from Korn. And then as I got better on guitar and I learned more technique, I realized I had to keep lifting that guitar higher and higher. And the higher I got it to my neck, the easier it was on my wrist to perform like techniques and stuff like that, especially for playing like fifths and things like that. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
For sure. Yeah. For sure. I mean, like with any instrument. Even like flute, people think, flute's stupid or whatever. One, like, you don't think that holding your arms in that position for an extended period of time isn't going to tire out your biceps and your forearms. Like, you have to find what works for your body. Like, drums especially. Like, guitar players, you just throw somebody else's guitar and you adjust the strap, like a few inches or whatever, and you're fine pretty much, But drums, it's like they should be tailored to you. Like Gene Hoglan, who used to be in Death. He's in Strapping Young Lad now, but a lot of people don't realize he was on Individual Rock Band. And, like if I sat down in his drum set, it'd be weird. You know what I mean? Like the way he sets up, like his arms are different length than mine. You know what I mean? He hits differently than me. He's a bigger dude, and he actually wears steel-toe boots and he puts 5-pound weights, 2 or 5-pound weights on each foot while he plays double bass drum. Next time you listen to Strapping Young Lad or Death Individual